All right, ladies and gentlemen, week 6. Here we are. We got a good one. Lots to talk about. We have new guests on the show tonight. None other than Only Dan's. Only Dan's, how are we doing tonight, buddy?
Big dog, we are doing pretty good, even though we're, on a 2-game losing streak?
Well, you just beat me to my first question. So you come in here, and, well, real quick, Deli, how we doing tonight? We never forget about you. You look like you're in a cave.
Yes, I'm in my dynasty cave. You can see my dog taking a nice nap. We're doing good. We're ready for another beautiful episode of UFFL podcast.
We got to tell Danny about this. There's an inside joke going on for a while that the 2021 draft, Deli showed up in a hoodie with cutoff sleeves. So, and he still rocks the cutoff sleeves. We love to see that.
Some of these boys don't even remember I pulled up to a UFFL draft with a suit I got from Goodwill, and I tore the sleeves off, and
That
the
was
boys
it.
went
No, not a
crazy.
hoodie. That was it. It was a suit that, yeah, all right, whatever, fuck it. Let's not get sidetracked. Danny, you were coming in 3-0. You kind of went on a little skid. You lost the fish. You just took another L to dad bodies. Now, what do you tell the locker room? How do you keep them contained? How do you keep the boys locked in and, just not falling apart left and right? What do you tell the Only Dan's locker room?
You know what? You're gonna lose some games. There's not very many perfect seasons out there, so we've got a pretty good looking schedule ahead. I liked what Fish said last week. He said something about I only look 3 games ahead, and not to just start with you, Connor, but we got you this week. As long as I can get through that, I've got a pretty good little matchup after that. I got Benny, and he's got quite a few guys on a bye. Not that we like to beat a guy when he's down, but then we got Zach Getz, and I got
Okay,
6
so
guys.
we're
I got 6
overlooking
guys
a
on a
lot
bye
right
that
now, but
week.
we will get to that later. So it sounds like the boys are in good shape. The boys are all well over in Only Dan's locker room. Deli's just on fire since his podcast started. He's technically undefeated since the podcast started. Some guys can't say that. So let's give in to some shout outs of last week. Always got to start off highest points of the week. Boys, 147, hide your kids. As some of you know, I predicted him to be our dark horse last week, and he's proven that he's becoming a stallion as he once was. So he dropped a smooth 147. Low points. This guy's kind of low right now, just in general. The team morale's down. Lowest points of the week, Frank Bova's 77.6.
It was also the biggest blowout of the week. He lost by 38.7. So, with a guy who's just damn injury riddled, Malik Neighbors going out really affects him. It's tough for Bovas. And another thing to note, guys, doesn't have a first rounder next year, I believe, right?
I think he does. I'm pretty sure Bova's does have a first.
Okay.
This last year he
It was
lost. We'll get into Bova's a little bit later
We've
because
got
we have
some
plenty more to talk
eviscerating to
about.
do on the
Don't
Bovas
want to
trade.
jump the gun on that one. But heads
biggest
up,
blowout.
biggest blowout. He lost
That
to.
means what does that mean for Bova? As being low points and
So
biggest
that
blowout?
means Bova's not only has to place the $5 squad ride, he's got to donate that $10 to the league next year. Pockets are running thin when you got a guy, Derrick Henry, $300 eating your whole bank account. But, a guy like him will do that to you. Moving on from there, we want to get into some recaps of the week. First and foremost, I want to start off with the big matchup. We have Blowies and Fish. Fish is riding the win streak. Blowies is probably the hottest team. How'd that end up coming down, boys? Let's take a look at that one.
It was a big 129.2 to Fish and the Fellas, and 113.6 $5 blowies.
That's a good battle. I think Blowies definitely kind of, ruffled some feathers with that locker room talk. Go ahead.
Blowies team is always like, he might put up 160. Like, he's a pretty scary looking squad. Delaney, on the other hand, is more likely. You look at Fish, though, the guy is never out of it. He's just a dog. It's kind of annoying. I want to put the dog down, but
I think the biggest way the UFFL could put the dog down is by just stopping trading with the Taggart brothers. I mean, just don't trade with these motherfuckers.
Too soon?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's not jump ahead.
We'll get to there a little bit later, boys. All right, so Blowies and Fish, thanks for giving a battle. That is definitely a potential playoff matchup. We'll see here a little bit later. Another big matchup.
What happened between the two of you guys, right? You guys had a.
Can you wait your turn and stop cutting off the host? We're gonna,
Sorry, I just
ladies and gentlemen, Danny's on. We're gonna have to hit the mute a few times. You already know what we're dealing with here. Don't worry, we'll take it easy on him. Next matchup we're gonna talk about is the Dad Bodies and Only Dan's matchup. Dad Bodies got the best of them. I think that Incognito, the Phantom, is really working for John right now. The senior citizen group, they're really going all in. They're cashing their life insurance out on every team. And let's talk about that a little bit. How'd that go with you guys? How'd that game turn out with the Only Dans and Dad Bods?
I
What went
mean,
right? What went wrong?
it started out right away with Christian McCaffrey with 28 points, 27.9. I think he was on pace for like, what, 45 points after the first quarter? I don't know. It was right then and there. His team is just, it's got a lot of age and it just always comes out and produces. If you look at his bench, it was zeros across the board. So he's, like you said last week, we need to check for a heartbeat, see if the guy's still actually alive, but he keeps putting out monster weeks. I don't know. I was thinking I was going to take him this week.
I think
Yeah.
Only Dan's too, you were in a tough spot, right? Bucky being out's a huge blow to your team. You had a couple guys on bye week. So, he didn't get Only Dan's at his full power, but I think, Dad Bods has been winning in this league for a long time, so he's definitely going to come out and give you a fight every now and then.
I agree with that, but you got to say the same for Dad Bods. He was out Chuba Hubbard. He even threw Only Dan's a pity bone by starting Xavier Scott with a negative 0.2. He's
What
like,
was
come
he
on.
doing
He's like, make this a
there?
game here.
Man.
And Dan's just
That was that 7:30 a.m. game too, or 6:30, whatever time it was back in
wherever the
AG.
location you're at.
It's
So
not
that
like
was
I did a huge favor right behind that though. With my RB2, I started Jade on Blue, so
yeah. Hey, maybe he'll turn out. Really quick, we forgot to mention, sponsored by Buffalo Trace.
Foodie Rangers.
We're only having
the
one.
only 9% you can get.
Buffalo's
gonna
going to
keep
see
it-
that and send you a cease and desist here soon.
We're gonna keep it at a
Buffalo.
minimum tonight. I feel like we got a little zooted and booted last week, so we're gonna keep this one. We're gonna behave on this.
No one had to see that though. We cut it out. You did a beautiful job of editing, so no one
Man,
even saw. We should, after really quick before we get to the next segment, when we get through enough of these, we should drop an unedited, a rated X segment just for the UFFL. Just let you see some of the behind the scenes.
All right, so Commish, next matchup I want to give a shout out to was the Commissioner took on Game of the Week, the Laniacs. And we kind of saw this one coming. It's kind of one of those almost, I don't want to call it passing of the baton because he's still not tier 2 yet. So he's still tier 3, tier 4 down there. But it was definitely a shellacking given to me. I got to give you that, Deli. You had the boys ready. We're not feeling too hot after this last one. It's almost like you're sending us in the lottery, and we don't want any part of that. How do you feel coming off that W?
He doesn't want any part of that, right? It feels good, like I said, I was saying last week, you got to go out and win these games, and it feels good to pick on the Getzes, the Bovas, the Fortes, but it also feels good to come out and get wins against the big dogs in this league. And Jays isn't at his top tier that he always has been, but he's a long time player, the commish. So getting a win definitely feels good.
Sort of a blowout. Wasn't even much of a matchup. Deli handled business pretty well, and he is a team to beat this year. He's proven it, and we want to give an honorable mention of a matchups that was worth recognition. This man deserves a big shout out. Is Get Some finally got his first debut.
Thank
Give
God.
it up for the boy.
Thank God.
Give it up.
Let's go.
We all
Get.
love to see it. We're all
Let's
rooting. He put together a team and he pulled out the W, so it was good to see that. I think the eyes are open with Get Some. I think he's going to go on a win streak. FYI, side note, Get Some has never had a win streak in his career, and his career high is 2 wins, ladies and gentlemen. So he's halfway there to tying his all-time career record.
He's never won back-to-back games?
Never won back-to-back games, man. He's
You
got
guys
a
have
lot
seen
of...
that. You guys have seen the tattoo on his back, right? It says 1 in a row. That's what he aims for. 1 in a row.
Dude, what a hard matchup. What's that?
Hey, Zach's team though, like as long as his guys, he drafts some shady characters.
Like father, like son.
Assuming some of these guys stay healthy and he can actually nail a running back for next season, he's got a pretty decent looking team.
Rashee Rice, honestly, hey, you hear it now. I think And I'm just throwing it out there, just the way the world works, the way my shit talking works. I think we might catch our first loss against Get Some week 11. His team looks ready. Don't be surprised if he finally pulls the old, don't harass me anymore, commissioner. I
Hey,
am not.
just when he's getting hot though, Amari and Hampton goes out on the IR.
Yeah, so he's got a tough matchup against Fish.
That's tough.
Nonetheless, shout out Zach. We're excited. I think the whole league is excited. All right, so
What?
moving on, we are gonna dip into studs of the week. The studs that helped guys prevailed matchups last week, and we're gonna talk about the duds as well. We always got to. Yours truly. I will start off first. I'll get the ball going. The stud of the week. And I'm going to continue on glazing Mr. Get Some. Kendrick Bourne dropping 24.2. That may or may not have been the most points he's got from a wide receiver or wide receiving core collectively, but either or, that's pretty impressive. That was a plug and play by Get Some. Really, really good move on that. And what do you guys think?
I was
Solid.
shocked. I looked at the scores on Thursday night and I just scrolling through, seeing where the league was at. I was like, what the hell? Who's got 24 points for Getz? I'm like, does Getz have 5 guys playing right now? Nope,
Dude.
Kendrick Bourne.
Oh, he just had one. That's just one.
It was impressive.
It's awesome. It's really fun. It's really good to see this.
I'd love to see the stat of like percent start for the guy. You know, like how many people actually started him?
Not
Kendrick
many
Bourne?
guys
No.
have the balls like Getz, man.
I think it's a good call. Kendrick Bourne's a little bit of an older receiver, but, with the injuries the 49ers have, who is it? Juwan Johnson? Or not Juwan Johnson. Juwan Jennings is still out.
Ricky
Obviously,
Pearsall.
Ayuk, George Kittle's out. So, yeah, a guy who's there and can get some volume, and clearly Mac Jones found some type of connection with him. So maybe he plays a big factor and gets his win against Fish this way.
Yeah, definitely better than Demario Douglas starting in your lineup the last few weeks.
I think Pop Douglas is at the bottom of the fucking add drop column, too.
Yeah, so dud of the week. We're going to move into dud of the week. Dud of the week was, coincidentally enough, last week's my dud prediction, and my redheaded stepchild, Jerry Judy, dropping 3.5. Just more reason for me to go home and want to beat my son. This is why I drink Buffalo Trace, is people like Jerry Judy.
You should go out and trade for Tyreek Hill, brother. He'd fit perfectly on your team.
We have a new era. The Rabuka Dunzuka. Anyway, I don't know if that was right. All right, Danny, before we get to Delaney's, I want to ask you your stud. Who helped some guys win some matchups, and tell me who just really let their papas down.
For my stud, I gotta give it to Sam Laporta for Hydra Kids. Hydra Kids is a sneaky, like quiet, just fucking solid team. Laporta's been quiet. I think he went out and put, 20 some points up?
Did he put up that many?
I think he did.
Well, Sammy, let's take a look. Let's take a
I
gander.
think he
Numbers
did.
guy, Delaney. Where's the numbers?
I don't have it all pulled up. Where's Hydra Kids? He had
Pulling.
20.2.
Wow.
Good week. Damn good
That's
week.
got to be good for what? Tight end 2, 3?
I think he's behind AJ Barner. AJ Barner had 2 touchdowns and 24 points. It's no big deal or whatever. But he's probably top 3, top 4.
Delaney, I wanted to give AJ Barner a shout out for you, but dude, you've got what, 4 guys that put up over 20 points?
The team's been on fire, but for Delaniacs to see a tight end come out there and actually produce is a goddamn fucking Christmas miracle. So thank you.
That is big, ladies and gentlemen. For those, as we've said before, Delaniacs has never really had a quarterback, has never had a tight end, and he's got them both.
Smoking Jays treats tight ends like a pack of used cigs, just in, out, in, out, in, out.
But we still keep my precious Pitsy Poo. So I really do like that one. What about dud of the week, Danny?
Dud of
who deserves a stern backhand or a tush spanking?
I mean, it's gotta be Trey McBride for me.
Trey
McBride. For
what
Gords,
did Trey?
Huh? How bad was he looking?
He had 5 catches for 41 yards. This is a guy that's, expected and in redraft leagues taken as a number 1 or number 2 or number 3. This guy's supposed to go out and kind of, win the game at tight end spots. This week, I mean, there's been a lot of up and down as far as new tight ends that are just taking over the role. Jake Ferguson. But I think that was just a big swing for for Gordon the guys, even though, Gordon the guys keeps putting up solid numbers, but Trey McBride is usually his solid 17, 18, 19 piece. So
I think
it's a
something
little
to be
bit of a
said.
dud for me.
I'd like to throw shade at all the Cards fans because we got a lot in this league. When you're on such a dysfunctional team as the Arizona Cardinals, man, losing that fucking lead to the Tennessee Titans was just embarrassing. I'll say it right now. Come for me, illegals, Gords, Tigers. It's embarrassing. Trey McBride being part of that roster, he can't feel a lot of confidence in that team to get it done, so it affects his performance, I think.
Quick funny story. I was leaving the stadium after the cardiac Cardinals went full cardiac arrest.
Probably one of the worst losses I've seen in a
And
while.
the funniest shit I've ever seen
Oof.
is this 55-year-old man, well off, like good looking dude, successful, walking out the stadium. He's screaming. He's like, I'm fucking over it. 15 fucking grand for these fucking seats. Go fuck like, all this shit, dude. And he had everyone around him like
Fired
looking
up.
at him like, no, they weren't fired up. We were all scared shitless. We thought this dude was just gonna pull out fucking assault rifle and start fucking shooting up people, but then he wasn't. Okay, just kidding. He's not. But no, one thing I do want to say on that Trey McBride situation is this man might be allergic to the goddamn end zone. Every week I want to go Trey McBride anytime touchdown, and
I know.
Those odds need to get higher. I'm done.
You just
I'm done
honestly, if we're talking about betting, it's almost just stay away from the Cardinals. Sprinkle Kyler Murray anytime touchdown. I don't even know where to begin with
a
those
dud
guys.
of the week for the NFL too. They fined our boy JG K for getting into Amari DiCardio's ear after that
he kinda deserved
boneheaded
it, though.
fumble.
You guys
K for
deserve it.
getting into your guy for making a fucking horrible mistake for an NFL player is just pathetic.
The difference
You gotta-
between him and us is that he's there in person and he's physically able to do everything we want to do to our fantasy
Put belt
players.
to fucking ass. Good
Yeah,
for him.
that's-
Good for you, JG.
Yeah, thanks for doing everything we want to do our fantasy players.
We'll start a GoFundMe for you. 100K, we'll pay it.
Yeah.
Get the Cardinals fans
Hey,
out. We got it.
you know what? If he's that upset about one play, he even came out and said it doesn't come down to one play. He just, even after that, there was no way they should have lost that game. It was that's Cardinals.
I totally agree.
Let's push
Cardinals.
Let's push
all right.
forward. Let's get to the next.
All right,
division.
So Deli, you're stud and dud of the week. Let's hear it.
I'll go through it quick. Did a little time rambling on the Arizona Cardinals, which happened. For my stud of the week, I got Justin Fields. You love to see it for a guy like Fish. He was saying it last week. He wants the applause to be as loud as the hate was. Justin Fields went out there 30 points. By no means a good fantasy or a good actual quarterback, but 30 points in the QB column for a fantasy win is amazing. And then for my dud of the week, to throw at one of our guests today, but Zach Ertz. Man, Did you start two tight ends this week?
Zach,
Two tight ends
did.
and one of them putting up the old goose egg. It hurts. And here's a quick stat for you. This is the first time since 2014 that Zach Ertz has been held to a game with 0 catches. So, what is that, 12?
Did he play the full
years?
game? Did he play the full game?
I think he did.
I didn't really get to watch. And I benched Brian Thomas Jr. for him, my second-born son.
We saw that one. Zach Ertz. I will not stand for any Zach Ertz slander. He is my son that won me a UFFL championship, and he will soon be Ring of Honor. So that said, we are going to move on to what teams are hot. What teams are hot coming off week 6? Again, I sound like a broken record here, but Delaniacs, you're hot right now. You can't. What is it? 4 wins in a row.
0-1 to 4-1.
Is this the first
baby.
time we have a 4-game win streak?
It might be. It fucking might be, dude.
Yeah, Delaniacs.
Delaney's team is scary.
It is scary.
Really quick stat. I was popping around looking for little fun facts for the league, and I just happened to pop into the MFL player stats. And right now, Delaniacs has 3 of the top 10 scoring positions in the MFL Fantasy League. Puka's number 2 with 134 points. Jonathan Taylor's 7th with 121.3, and Drake May is at number 10 spot with 114.
Overall, those are overall?
In the entire of every player. Josh Allen's number 1. Pat Mahomes, surprisingly, is number 3. So, yeah, you get 3 guys in the top 10 and you
before
win.
our very eyes. Sometimes I feel like a guy like Delaniacs, like people are actually like, "What the fuck? He's been in the league for 6 years." I'm like,
And
"Yeah,
it's done nothing. What?
It's easy."
No.
His team is ready to make an appearance. Delaniacs, keep it going, man. We're proud of you. Another hot team. as we've been saying, another 4-game win streakers, dad bodies. He keeps just doing. He shows up to work, clocks in, clocks out. See you the next day. See you next week. Keep it going, John and Fish. Got a big. This guy, we call him the giant slayer right now. He's taking on. If you're a good team, you do not want to be in the way of this guy. You only imagine that his kryptonite could be
Get
trades
some.
and trade. Maybe get some. He got gets this week. You got to look out for him.
I think his biggest kryptonite will probably end up being karma.
Not Chimera.
Not
Too soon on that
Chimera,
one.
not
That's
Karma.
too soon on
I'm
that
sorry.
one.
I'm sorry. I meant to say Chimera.
Another hot team, and it's funny, he's just bitching at me in the Discord why he's not tier 2 yet, because there's a few, but you're making your ways. Illegals. Now, Illegals definitely is a product of kind of getting a cupcake schedule, but you're dealt the hand that you, what am I trying to say here?
You got to play the hand you're dealt.
Yeah, you got to play the hand you're dealt. Thank you, Danny. You're welcome back anytime. And he's doing it, and he's winning. I think he's on a little win streak too. I feel bad. Yeah, you got Gordy. You got Gordy looking above at me in illegals. Like, how the fuck are these guys ahead of me right now? But he's on a 2-game win streak. Keep it going, Padilla. Maybe one day you'll finally get that ring. And another hot team. How to throw this one into, because there's so many hot teams. It's getting that time of the year. Is Hide Your Kids. He's
About
now
4 of them.
Yeah, that's 4. That's 5. That's 5 teams heating up, man. This whole league
Who
is
are the
heating
5?
up.
We got Delhi,
We got
You said
Deli,
Hide Your
Dad
Kids?
Bods, Fish, Illegals, and Hide Your Kids.
Illegals.
But
Illegals is a fraud.
Oh, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
You know, the public
yeah.
hates on this guy, and this guy just is always in the fucking playoffs. But speaking of people who are not on that list, funny enough, is let's talk about who's not hot. And that is Only Dan's. Only Dan's. What a coincidence. We already talked about you. We don't need to dip too much. I think every good team's got to get humbled a little bit.
As we know, we just, we don't look at the headlines. We look ahead. Who are we playing this week?
Hey,
we're feeling pretty good. We're feeling pretty good about where we're headed.
We like that. We like that. Locker room, noted. Yeah, the locker room heard that one, and the boys are ready. Another team not doing so well was Bad Intentions, but Bad Intentions is quickly becoming. He is who we thought he were, or who we know they are, and that is just a team that is good looking up top, kind of frumpy at the bottom.
A little bit, not a lot of
They
depth.
got a little bit of a
like
poopa.
Fish said, not a lot of depth on the team, unfortunately for him. He sold his soul to the devil to try to win one tango year one, and it might come to bite him in the ass. But we'll see how he fights back.
Yeah. And then obviously probably the coldest team right now is Bova's. They're in shambles, not to kick a team when it's down, but there's a lot of dysfunctionality going on in that team, in the locker room. And we've always said this, you can't build a team on paper. You got to build from within. And this league is a very emotional league, and you can't let your emotions get the best of you. And that goes with trading. And you got to know when it's time to just throw in the towel. And hopefully the future works out for Bova's. There's just not a lot of life. There's not a lot of life there. Hung up on contracts. He's hung up on old age. You got to find a way to get younger. And I don't know, boys, is it time to blow up the ship?
It's tough. It's a tough line to walk because, like you said, on paper, he played everything in this offseason and at the end of last season to try to go for it. And like you said, on paper, there's potential there, but he's got the age factor with Derrick Henry. It's not looking too hot this year. Obviously, the guy's going to come back. He's going to produce when he needs, at certain times. But how much is he eating up on the roster? As a contract, $300. That's tough.
Like an emotional signing to me.
You got to say 300, not only for the present. He signed him to a 4-year contract at 300?
Think 3 years.
3 years. Regardless, for a guy 31, 32, Kamara's old too. His roster's old, and he's got neighbors in there to bring a little bit of that youth. But with him out, it's just not looking good. I think Bovas, if you're listening to this, we love you. You're my Mexican brother, even though you're Italian or what the fuck ever. You gotta ship it in this year, brother. You gotta really commit to the rebuild. I know it sucks. I know you wanted to go all out this year and win one, but this just isn't your year. But that's the thing thing about Dynasty League specifically in a 16-team league. You need to have depth. It's going to happen. Injuries are going to happen. We might have seen the most this year that there's been, but you need to find a way to fight through it, or throw in the tower and rebuild. So he's at a crossroads now.
It's time to write your story, Bovas.
Write your stories. Trade your way out like fish, but don't trade the fish.
Yes.
I see it too as Fish is like, you know what? Fuck all y'all. Like, I'll do it without it because the dude has my number. Something about Fish.
You're his little brother. No, and again, and I want to go out there and just say that it's nothing personal with anybody. It's my job as the commissioner to be the protector of the weaklings and the stronglings, but some people just need more help. But again, guys, always don't let the emotions get the best of people when it comes to trading. Kind of do your own analysis, and if it's time to go rebuild, it's fucking time, guys. It's time, and there's better days ahead of you, and just know that. So moving on, let's talk I mean, we don't really have a dark horse of the week, do we? I mean, is it still Padilla at this point?
I was going to bring up a little fun fact. I don't think it's Padilla, and I want to point out one of our brothers who's last in his division, but a real competitive division, the UFFL South. Fuller Effect has more points forced this year than Padilla has at 4-1. Padilla has scored 548.8 points. Fuller has 500. He was in that division. He should technically be ahead of illegals at 4-1. But the way the cards fall, you fight some you face some hard rosters, and it is what it is. So I think Padilla is looking more like a pretender than he is a true contender.
I think last year he dropped like 190. His team is capable, but then his team's capable of going like 65 points. It's the most Fuller Effect thing I've ever seen. I truly love to see it. He hates to see it.
Do you guys remember his first round pick from this year?
Krosky Merritt?
It was a guy on his bench that scored 30 some points, but this is how he was picked this year.
Krosky Merritt. We did it last week on the pod.
There it is.
And I'll do it every week. I'll do it every week as long as he keeps winning. Every week when you keep winning, Aaron.
I was going to say, we're talking a little bit of shit, but I do think Fuller's roster could pull this around pretty quick.
Absolutely.
With Marmar coming back from injury, huge. Michael Carter looks like he could pay off. Bill Krosky Merritt playing real nice against
Time out. Go back one. Big ad by Michael Carter.
Huge ad.
I doubt his front office quite a bit. I don't want to say time to time, probably minute to minute, but that was a huge ad, and it's just paying dividends already. And again, it's like I root for Aaron. Aaron's one of those guys he's had so many bad breaks. Even before the new wave came in, it's been going on every year. The guy gets the worst breaks outside of Padilla. And that's why they're both tier 3. When you guys can overcome those bad breaks, you guys are getting promoted. So I guess, dark horse, that's a Delaney shout out. Great dark horse pick. We got to hurry up, guys.
It's a big matchup, though. Fuller versus Gordy.
That is a big matchup, but we got to move forward because we only got so much time. Let's look ahead to week 6. We're on a week 6 now, boys. We're already almost halfway there. Let's talk about week 6 preview. That is the Only Dans and Smokin' Jays. Not much of a big matchup for Smokin' Jays. We could care less. It's kind of just one of those, hey, like if we lose, it just helps us even more. If we win, we might be in the fold, boys. We might make a move, but it's a bigger impact game for Only Dans. They lose, they go 3-3, and then they lose the tiebreaker to Smokin' Jays. And now they're in la limbo. Don't want to be in there.
I love that you say, it's not that big of a game for Smokin' Jays. Aren't you a guy that's built off of, records and legacy? This means everything to me and my guys. My guys are coming out. They're putting their fucking nose to the grindstone, head down, chin strap on.
Okay. But no, always a good matchup. It's our first matchup ever in 3 years. We
love a good fight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Either way, we're always rooting for Only Dans too. I know some people hate to hear me give the rec to Only Dans, but guess what? I gotta do it, boys. But that's one matchup, and then the of course, Delaniacs and Dad Bodies might be the hottest game of the week. I'm still tempted. I'm like, game of the week debating. I'm like, I can't keep going guys in a row. We'll figure it out. Who gives a fuck? But Dad Bodies and Delaniacs, that could be like the fight for the number 1 seed and the bye and everything. So it is definitely a big matchup this week. Deli,
Really
how we
quick, we
feeling?
know it's a big depth thing, right? I'm checking out Dad Body's started roster here, and I hate to see him riding my coattails. I don't know if this is going to be how he's starting, but his running back 2 spot is Emmanuel Wilson right behind Josh Jacobs, and his receiver 1 spot is Devontae Adams behind number 1 receiver Puka. So I hate to see
Wow.
him trying to ride the coattails on the Delaney X roster. He's got the number 2 best player on each of his teams, so I think we get him this week.
I think John's been tuning into a little bit of our podcast, actually. I sent it over to him. He really loved it. And John, again, if you're listening, I have your insurance at running back, Brian Robinson Jr. Come get it. But I think that is a huge matchup. It is, we're only in week 6, not even halfway through the regular season, and that's already going to be a huge factor moving forward. And this game is not circled on anyone's calendar, but it's the Fish versus Get Some, and if Fish continues the win streak. But does Getz get his win streak? Most likely not. It's not looking great. So
I gotta say, I think all the UFFL's rooting for Getz. So listen, Getz, you got us behind you, my boy. Come
so
dethrone the
crazy
Fish.
is like how man, it's like love Getz, man. The lovable losers, but like now that they've lost so much, that's what it takes in life, is for people to feel sorry for you and they start rooting for you.
Well,
And he even called me after the win. He's like, hey, Benny called or texted me and wished me congratulations. Why haven't you? I'm like, cause it's your first fucking win in eons, Gets. Why the fuck don't you think I called and wish you? But congratulations, Gets. Again,
congratulations, Getz. Yeah,
we're all
you,
happy to
brother.
see it. So there's that. But okay, let's keep going. Hopefully we get Christian joining us on the podcast here shortly. But before we get into that segment of the show, let's start talking about our potential studs and potential duds of week 6. Last week I'm pretty sure I hit on both of my studs and duds last week, but we're gonna jump into this week. And my stud of the week is basically any running back going up against the Bears defense. And the guy going up against the Bears defense this week just had a breakout game, and that is Bill Nye, the science guy. Crockett Merritt. And that is Ja'Cory Crossgate Merritt. I think he's finally taken over that thruple of a committee. I think I think he's gonna just run all over the Bears. He's gonna do his thing. Do the Bears lose to them? I don't think so. But I think Ja'Cory Crossgate Merritt. I think Fuller's just starting to look like a genius. It's only up to Fuller for him to shoot himself in the foot. But right now, that first round pick he got, I think Ja'Cory goes off this week. And my dud of the week. Dud. Make it bulletin material. I got to go the Jets offense led by Justin Fields. He's playing out of his mind. He's a fantastic fantasy quarterback, but he's now going up against probably the hardest defense they played all year in Denver. I just was looking it up. Denver's, I think, number 6 against the pass. Their edge rusher, Nick Botanis, or whatever his name
Nick
is.
Bonito, baby.
Bonito, whatever. Is he Italian? Is he
Casa Bonito, baby? It's a Colorado secret. You got to know.
Yeah, it's true. Well, he's out there with 7 sacks already, and I think they're going to be all over him. And not only that, since he's a running back, Justin Fields, they're number 3 against the rush. So they're going to have this kid on lock, and I think it might start impacting the Garrett Wilsons. Even my precious Breece Hall might be in for a long day. So I hate to say it, but I think the whole Jets offense, and specifically their leader at quarterback, are in for a dud of a day. Delaney, studs and duds, tell us.
I'm just going to go on record and say it. I think I've missed, you said you hit on both ears last week. I think I've missed on pretty much all of my studs and duds. So maybe don't take my word for all of these, but I got to hit one of them, right? It's a numbers game. So this week I'm going to go kind of similar to what Connor did. Deebo Samuel, he's been a real fucking dog for Hydra Kids. People were thinking he was looking a little bit slow in training camp, a little bit older, but he gives you that rushing potential. He gives you that receiving potential. And again, when you're playing this
Harry might be out,
dog shit, soft ass Bears defense, you got to think a guy who can get a little rushing potential is going to be good for you. And then for my dud of the week, I have T. Higgins. And hate to kick Gordy when he's down, man, but there's no way you could bench T. Higgins. And I think he gets a little bit of an upgrade. They just traded for Joe Flacco, but he's coming from a short week. They just traded him for him last week. So Zach Taylor already said he's expecting to come out and start Sunday against the Packers defense, who looked real soft against the Cowboys, but has been decent. I think Joe Flacco is going to have a tough time learning that playbook in a 4-5 day window.
I like that. I like that a lot, and I think you hit that nail on the head with the Joe Flacco. I think that offense is going to have a lot of growth in the next 2 weeks. But again, dude, they're plug and playing him, and it's not like fantasy. It's real life. And the old man is going to show a little rust, but he's definitely going to elevate that offense. Your predictions
For week 6, I think I'm going to go with my stud as A.J. Brown. I think that the Eagles are.
We are kind of glazing Aaron. Fuller Effect's getting the treatment.
I mean, you mean Aaron, the guy that's in 4th place in my division? Yeah, that Aaron.
With more points forced than a lot of teams in the league. So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what happens in the South. It's a tough division.
The black and blue.
There's dogs, bunch of dogs. A.J. Brown, I think that this has to be a get-right game. I think Saquon is questionable, right? I think he's a little banged up. They're playing the Giants. It's got to be a bounce-back game for A.J. Brown. The Eagles are a fucking phenomenal team, and if there's any bit of, cancer in the locker room, this is the week to solve it. I think A.J. Brown, I might take him for like 2 touchdowns this week. 100 yards and a touchdown, something along those lines. But let's go to duds. 49er quarterback. I think that they're coming off of a high from last week, and I think they're facing the juggernaut in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Baker Mayfield is him, and I just think that they're going to.
Baker is him. What do you mean you think he is him?
No,
anyone on the 49ers roster.
I got a nice bet on him to be MVP. I think that the 49ers get exposed by the Bucs this week.
Danny, I feel bad. I'm going to go on record and say I feel terrible for any UFFL owner that does not have a Tampa Bay Buccaneer on their roster.
A Tampa Bay Bucky.
Especially a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Okay.
I think it's a Buccaneer.
It's a Bucky or Buccaneer. It's one or the other. All right, anyway, so I was hoping to get Christian on this podcast tonight. Oh, wait, he's ready. Join, Christian. Join.
Sir.
Nickel and Dimes has joined. All right, I guess
I'm here to save the podcast.
I'm glad to see someone else rocking the headphones. Let's go.
All right. We want to know how does it feel coming off? Given gets his first win and eat.
Man.
Since dinosaurs were roaming the world, that was the last time he's got to win. How do we feel, bud?
Well, someone's got to keep him from jumping off a roof,
What a nice guy. I'm sacrificial rookie.
I do want to ask, does Deli have moonshine in that mason jar?
Just a little bit of water, brother. There? Just a little bit of water.
Just a little bit of water.
No, Jets would have beat
that's
10 teams.
That's gasoline, brother.
Go ahead.
No, come on.
I'm glad you made it.
He would have beat 10 teams. I don't feel
we saw that. But... We actually saw that. I forgot who pulled that up for me.
Yeah, you and me last night.
He just flat out. He put the league on notice. Real quick, boys.
10 out of 16.
Real quick, I do want to, before we jump into our parlays, to the spread.
Spread.
I want to talk about, are there any notable waiver wire signings this week? We saw a few go through.
I did want to talk about this. I'll jump the gun as a Chargers fan real quick. Having $50 and $42 spent on 2 running backs that may not even be leading that Los Angeles Chargers room in the next 2 to 3 weeks is insanity to me. But I did like Kamish. I was getting in his ear a little bit before this, and he brought up a lot of good points. Hassan Haskins was a Michigan guy, I believe. He was with the Harbaugh for a little bit. And last year, when a couple of our dudes went down, Hassan Haskins saw a lot of goal line touches. So I think it could be a bigger move for Hassan than Kamani Vidal to get some of those late time touchdowns.
Let's just say one thing. You can't tell me Harbaugh doesn't have a type when you got Najee built like a fucking linebacker.
Omarion just
built like a linebacker. Hassan built like a linebacker. So... That was the good play. I wanted to go Kamani Vidal, but I do think Illegals picking up Kamani was a pretty decent play. So
he had the cap to spend too, so sometimes you got to go out and spend it. You can't take it with you.
Who was the
Wait.
next highest bid on them?
I had 20 Kamani. I can't speak to anyone else, but I threw at least a little bit out there.
I was telling the boys this. Actually, Monday night, I put $70 on Kamani Vidal at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's when Commish Monday night does his
The
work. 'cause
Buffaloes
all
are
you
roaming.
Boys, yeah, dude, that's when the buff is gone right now. But
I could tell.
I put $70 bid
What is this, a
on
51-minute
Kamani Vidal.
podcast? Who the hell's listening to
Yeah,
this?
it was the Kamani Vidal. And then last night at 2 a.m., I was like, dude, I can't do this. I did more research and I withdrew it, and it went to $50 Padilla. So the boys are opening their wallets and they're spending the clip. So keep it going. Any other ones we like that we see here, boys?
Mac Jones for $51 is at least not a crazy overpay, but you hate to see Kamish getting in dudes' heads in this league. It really, he's playing the puppeteer fucking logo for people, and I don't think I don't think Mac Jones is necessary for Bovas, who's already not even competing.
No, but Boba's needed to do that though. He has Brock Purdy,
needs
so
it.
he
Agreed.
locks it up and he's good.
Maybe, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I want to throw.
That's a move for a guy that's
Who
in
are you gonna go for?
contention.
Joe Flacco?
Hey, Joe Flacco, baby. Hey, all I'm saying, last year when he got a few starts, he was looking good. He looks better than some other dudes. Joe Flacco loves to throw it down the field, stretch it out, and throw 40-plus yards. So
They went
Joe Flacco
from the
already
worst.
beat the Packers. Joe Flacco.
And he's going to do it again. I want to point this one out. There's one that just stands out to me. And it's so funny because we were just shitting on this guy last week, and now we're just in an all-out Bukkake
2-2.
praise fest. If you boys don't remember, the curse of Tutu Atwell placed on Delaney. Was it last year or the year before? Get some went on record and said, Delaniacs, you'll never beat me as long as Tutu Atwell is alive. And I'm pretty sure Delaniacs might be playing Get Some this year. And by God, do I hope Tutu Atwell's in that lineup.
he better be.
So it would just make sense. So those are some notable signings this year. Let's move into spread.
Wow. Spread.
Now, spread of the week. We have Nickel and Dimes here. He did join us a little early tonight, but we're hot right now. I want to talk to Nickel and Dimes before we jump into the spread. The Prophet and Dimes cooked up something for people. How are we doing?
It feels good. It feels good to be a winner. A 10-bagger on that one. I think we can do it again.
Boys, I know the league hates to hear this. I know you boys are all
They're
listening to this
fatigued.
podcast right now, rolling your eyes, but there's a connection going, and it's Nickel and Dimes and the Prophet. If you haven't signed up for the Discord, then you must not like money. So
Link in the comments. Link in bio.
Link in the comments. We're creating our own Discord here soon. We're going to get something going for the boys. We got surprises coming, but let's move and let's feed the family. So, boys, the spread of the week. I'm going to start first. It's not sexy. I'm going the Cowboys -3. I think Carolina is riding a high right now, and I think that Dak is just going to smother them. So I'm going Dallas -3 in this one.
Anyone
Who's
next?
next?
Nickels and Dime? Give us something.
I can call one out. Yeah, I got okay, so this team's coming off a pretty bad loss to the Cowboys, facing the Broncos overseas. I'm going Jets +7.5. Crossed over the key number. They opened up at 6.5, get to 7.5. You look at the Broncos, they go over the States to Philly. Now they're going to go overseas. I feel this is a letdown spot, so give me the points with Jets.
Are they the morning game?
They are.
Yeah, if it's overseas, brother.
I feel like a New York team has got to be rooted for, yeah?
Yeah, it's
Over
funny.
there.
I was kind of shit on their offense a little earlier,
Yep.
and I hope you're right. I think
Put
their
the bet
defense-
in, go to sleep, wake up with some money.
Money to money.
Yes, sir.
So I'm seeing +7. Would you still take that or bump it to 7.5? I'm looking at FanDuel.
I'm pumping this in as we speak, boys.
I have 7.5 on
Me too.
DraftKings
Yeah.
too, so I'm sure whatever
We're
you're
going
looking at.
DraftKings here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
think
right,
7.5 is
7.5.
pretty wide, pretty widely available.
All right, let's see what these odds are looking like. Let's see. Weird. I opened my DraftKings account and the Prophet has struck again. That's for later.
We don't want to talk about you betting on Russian ping pong, brother. We got to get going in the segment.
I was betting on Ding Dang.
Ding dong.
Let's
Hey,
see
he's pretty
here.
good.
Hold on, let's see. All right, NFL week 6. So we got. All right, do we still got it? We got the Cowboys -3. Is that still? Yep.
Who do you got, Delaney?
Again, I've been real cold on my studs and duds, and apparently on my spreadsheets. Last week, I hit a real dud with the Chiefs, so take whatever I say, I guess, with a grain of salt. But I like the Patriots. They're coming off a big win against the Bills, and they're getting a Saints team that I think is a little amped up off coming off their first win. But, I mean, my boy Drake May and Stephon, Cardi B Diggs, I think are going to go out and handle business at -3.5.
All right, and that's more of the what is it? The family. Never mind.
I actually like that pick. I like that pick a lot.
I like it too.
-3.5 seems like a doable line. I think they go out and put up a lot of points. I don't think the Saints defense is really built to stop much
I have
of anything.
them on my as a 5-point favorite. So coming in at 3.5.
I like that.
That's
Wow,
good.
Deli.
The stamp.
Have been approved by Profit and Dime, and now Danny $.
Once upon
There's
a
a
time,
few
I was,
that I
I was
like
hitting
right
bets
here at
in
the end.
NBA. Not anymore. Not anymore. Let's hear it, Danny boy.
Bengals Packers. Bengals plus 14.5. I
Is
like
this just off the
or,
cuff?
Joe.
Are we just coming off the cuff for Danny? He has no research before?
No, this has been the one that I like because I think Joe Flacco comes out and fucking hangs with them again. I think the Packers are just like kind of phony, kind of fraud.
You got the
sometimes.
Bengals at what? What was the line? I'm sorry.
Plus 14.5. I think that's a pretty big.
I mean,
but I'm
pretty-
looking.
pretty wide margin.
I'm looking at I like Detroit Lions plus 2.5 too. So I'm gonna take Bengals 14.5.
Bengals 14.5. On
I think that's
DraftKings,
all-
they are at 14. If you move them to 14.5, which is fine, our odds are 1,122.
They're at
That's like
plus 14. God.
that's $25. That's $25
Whoop.
bucks to win 305. That's not a bad nut.
Not bad.
Tiny little nut.
20,
Not bad.
But a good nut.
25.
Hey,
I like
what
it.
did we end up
I'm
last
betting
week?
it.
How did it do? Who hit? Who lost?
Man, dude, I took I got fucking bamboozled out of the fucking 3 straight fumbles from the Giants, that was absolutely rigged. I don't care. People are like, Connor, NFL's not rigged. They're playing for their jobs. No, they're getting paid by fucking Vegas. Don't tell me it's not fucking rigged. Okay, sorry, but yeah, whatever happened, and then Fish had
Which
Miami,
lost. And
which
then I
was
had Chiefs.
another rigged, which was another rigged.
Big.
I had the Chiefs at -3.5. Man, I was talking down on TL, but he came out and handled business. And
I think
Patty
we
threw a
lost
pick
all our
six.
bets last week.
Yeah, it was a bad look.
Oh, yeah, you hit. All right. So this is why Nicola dies. We're going to hope that we bring him on moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, lock it in. Before we wrap up, one more time, we got Dallas -3, New York Jets plus 7.5, the Patriots -3.5, and Bengals plus 14.5. That will be it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Nickel and Dimes for coming on. Thank you for Only Dan's. Deltron, thank you for not wearing a normal shirt per usual. And we will see you guys next week.
It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you for hopping on. Good to see you.
Bye.
Yes, sir.
Later, boys.